Hello, hello, hello. Let me start the live. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, yes, I am live on YouTube and I'm also live. I love my lighting on this phone. Coach Mel B is live on Facebook. Okay, so I decided to just do two of these things today. Um, as we wait for other people. So I decided to just do two. Okay. As we wait for other people, please introduce yourself. Tell me who you are, where you're logging in from. Let's see. I see there are people who are logging in on Facebook. Let me just share a bit. Welcome to Malibu TV. Welcome to Coach Malibu's page. These days I'm getting a bit busy and I am unable to do my lives the way Monday I will go on the page, Tuesday I will go on YouTube, and then Thursday on the group. But then we're just gonna do this the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hello guys, hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay. Just want to share this live on my Facebook. Just before, hey, Jay, hello, Sponga. Yes, from Durban. Hey, we have people from Durban. Okay, I don't know who's watching with me, but I think I can see JC, and I'm not sure who's the other person, but okay. I don't know who's going to be watching from where, but these lives are on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are watching from wherever, it's just one message. And if you are seeing me looking there, I am on YouTube, and here I am on Facebook. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about this. My name is Malibu Oljonzindi. I always forget my books. I am a holistic life coach, an energy healer, a motivational speaker, and award-winning author of these two books called The Journey and Confessions. And also I have this, right, which is the journal. So for people who love journaling, this is a good thing for you that you can use for yourself, right? Hello. Right, let's get on to the story. So today we're talking about how mother and father wounds can affect your money. And because I know myself that it has affected my money, and I had to really heal from these wounds. And yeah, that's what we're talking about. But before we get further with hello. Okay, I can't see clearly, but I can see somebody has commented there. But let's start with understanding what are wounds. So there are other people who have never experienced trauma, but they have childhood wounds, right? And a wound is like unalinto, in my language, is like unali lisiso, or how do other people call it? And it has power to even, I know people who, especially diabetic, it can even cause them to amputate the whole whatever, if it's an arm, a leg, or whatever it is. So that's how a wound is. So many of us, we don't know that we have these wounds, but they are coming to us in a form. They are communicating with us in a form of a lot of my clients would say, coach, I feel so stuck. I have been in this job, but I don't find fulfillment. Some of my clients would say, I've got problems within my relationships. I cannot have a relationship last. It's a lot. Some would say it's money issues, right? They would say, I've got a money issue, debts, and a whole lot of other things. So in life, because we were created by a God who's the creator of all things, we are supposed to have everything that we want. So if you want a relationship, you must be in a relationship. You shouldn't be struggling to be in a relationship. If what you want is money, you shouldn't be struggling to get money. You should be having money in your life. But what then limit us, or what then hinder us from getting the things that we want, it's because of what we have been taught to believe about those things. And one of the issues, comes from childhood. So people who have done psychology, I know there are therapists who are my friends or counselors. We have been taught that between the ages of 0 and 7, that's where most of our life is created, from that age. And in spirituality, we do have the same thing, that between the ages of 0 and 7, and 0 meaning that inside of your mother's womb, until 7, that's when your energy centers are developing. And it's a whole topic. I'm going to try and shorten it in just 30 minutes so that we can all understand this. I hope you can hear me, guys. Can you hear me? Yeah, anniversary follower. Oh, I see the Malisulu. Okay, there I've read it. It says you are in an anniversary. So today is our anniversary. All right. So with me, I have been a coach for quite a long time, and I have been running away from the fact that I didn't want to teach people about childhood, because it's like, how do you coach and all these things. But when I then started healing myself, I stopped running away from myself. So in my coaching practice, most of the time, and which is most of the problems, even in marriage, some of you who are following me on Facebook, who are my friends on Facebook, have shared. I don't know how true it is, but I know that it can be true, that Jay-Z and Beyonce were about to divorce. And Jay-Z said, "This is give me the last time. I am going to work on myself, and I'm going to work on this marriage through therapy." And then he went through therapy, and today they are the most celebrated couple in the entire globe. And this took them, from the post, it says that Jay-Z had childhood traumas, and I believe wounds that he had to heal through therapy. And today they are here with I don't know how many kids they have. So many of us, we do have these problems. It's just that we don't know it's problems. We have been conditioned to believe that we need to struggle. We have been conditioned to believe that in order for we even have these things that we speak about, people who have a calling, which is every one of us have a calling anyway. And if you have a traditional healer calling, then relationships are going to be hard for you. So we have been conditioned to believe that we need to work so hard for relationships, and then work so hard for money. We need to work so hard so that we end these things. And when we work so hard for them, we feel entitled. That is why many people are in toxic marriages and relationships, and they cannot leave. Toxic work environment, and they cannot leave because they feel like, I've worked hard for myself to be here. I'm not letting this go, right? So we all have that. So my first introduction to these wounds, before I experienced trauma, and sometimes your wounds will make you susceptible for trauma and pain, right? So at the ages of 4, that was my first introduction to wound or to pain. And I did not know this until I started going for healing. And when I went to this healer, I thought they're going to tell me about rape, because I have been sexually abused before. So I thought that was what will come out of that. But I was surprised to know that what was picked up from this whole thing, the energy thing, and was at the ages of 4. Now, I remembered that what happened at the ages of 4. Now, that whatever happened, which I'm going to explain, then made me susceptible to sexual abuse and rape, and also hindered me from elevating, even in my workplace, from making money, and a whole lot of other things. How did it do that? So age of 4 is a very crucial age, because Even psychology, because I have mentioned that psychology says between the ages of 0 and 7, your mind is an absorber, so it absorbs a lot of beliefs which can be limiting at some point. And then again, in spirituality, that's when your energy center is being formed, is developing. Yes, that's the good word. It's developing, and when this energy center is developing at the ages of 4, it's called the heart chakra or heart energy center, however you want to call it. And it is responsible for us feeling and knowing what unconditional love is. Now, many people don't know that. You can be married and still don't understand or know what unconditional love is. Now, with me, age of 4, immediately the foundation of love in my life was ruined at that time. And how was this wound then introduced in my life? Um, I had a brother whom, with me, when now I'm doing the healing, I had at the back of my mind that I was the last child. I thought we were going to be 4. We are 6 at home. I thought we were going to be 4. And my parents then introduced a new baby, which was my brother. And I hated this guy with passion. I thought he's going to take my place and a whole lot of other things. Okay. And when that then happened, it extended, from hate to everything else. So from my heart, when my heart chakra or energy center was developing, what was happening in me is that I did not know love. I only knew hate, right? And I went on with my life. I met men who abused me emotionally. I remember I had a boyfriend who abused me physically and actually assaulted me, because that was like a once off thing and I had to run. Actually, 2 guys who did that. And I met a whole lot of things in my life which was matching my vibration. So my vibration was hate. So even when I get into a relationship, though my intention was to get in a relationship with love, I did not know love was, what love was. And my frequency, which I always talk about, that the universe does not communicate with language, English or Swana, Xhosa, or whatever. It communicates with frequency, which is the spirit inside of you. So me, my energy was of hate, and as a result, it will, you will get things that are within your vibration. So later on, 4 years later, I became susceptible to sexual abuse, and I was sexually abused for 3 consecutive years, and a whole lot of other things that happened in my life, really. And that was my first introduction to a wound that really pushed me into even trauma. And today I'm here, I'm actually sharing with people how you can heal trauma and pain. Um, so when I thought of healing, I thought I would heal the sexual abuse, but the sexual abuse was as a result of my frequency and my vibration. But all things again work together for our good, isn't it? Okay, so now I did not understand until I was older that, the Bible says, guard your heart with diligence, because the issues of life flows through your heart. And now when you block your heart from receiving love, when you block your heart, it means that you don't even know money, because the issues of life, money, abundance, health, and everything flows through your heart. And that is the reason why I struggle with so many other things in life, even including money. So let's now dive into that is wound, and many of us would have had that wound. And it's different from different people. Some people had to be mothers to their siblings, which hurt them, that I cannot be a girl, or I cannot be a boy that I'm supposed to be. I always have to take care of my brothers and things like that. So that on its own can be a wound, right? So 11 years of age, and I am telling you this story from the beginning, not from the beginning, from the end to the beginning. Ages of 10, of 11, I meet my father. I almost said my husband. I met my father in town. I am with my aunt in a car, and I did not remember this. Like I'm saying, I'm starting from the end, and I will go back to the beginning. This is now my introduction to money. So all of us, we were introduced to money, whether it's good, bad, but all things good or bad, right, wrong, work together for our good, right? So as we know, as Black people, we are wounded when it comes to money. That is why you see the political landscape, if they call it that way, is this way because Black people, when it comes to money, we cannot even think. We can't even think when it comes to money because we have been poor for a very long time. And when we get that cent, some people will never even think about who is not eating what. They'll go and chow their money. We only see about 2010, not all of them, but 2010 that they chow that money because we have been so hungry for money. But it goes back to what we have been taught to believe about money, even love, relationships, and all that. But now, what was I taught to believe about money? I did not know. I did not know that actually this is possible, that somebody else can teach you about money. But what had happened in my life is at age 11, this is when I was now healing my money story. And age 11, I remembered now that I was in town with my aunts, like I said, and I was so excited to see my dad in town. We were from Go Unit 2, for people who know Mafikeng, and the town, like the biggest town, I would say, Mafikeng is the town Mafikeng, where even though Honale mega city, but we always go to town. And my father was there, and I was so excited. So I told my aunts that I'm going to ask for money from my dad. And they said, man, Rabat lady, never go fetch a lady. And I bet on myself that my father is working every day. He's waking up every day, going to work. He's going to give me money. And to my surprise, when I got there, my father said, I don't have money. And he walked away. And after that whole scenario, then I had my aunts laughing at me. We told you, those things. So I was embarrassed by that. And it went on in my life, plus the fact that I saw my father was the breadwinner. So I saw my father from a very young age going to work every day, working crazy amount of hours, where he was working at night and maybe 12 hours and things like that. But every time when it went on, I would ask my father, can you please give me money and all this? And my father would say, I don't have money. So the language that I knew about money is that it's not there. It's not available. So people can wake up in the morning and go to work and still money is not available for them, right? So I learned that at a very young age in my preteen years, that money is not available, and people go to work and they come back but they don't have money. That is the truth about what I have learned. Some people have learned differently than I did, right? Anyway, I go on with my life like that, with that type of conditioning, that type of understanding that money is not there. And I start working. When I started working, to my surprise, my siblings were always referring me to my father. Hey, we're not trying to papa ga go stingy. But I didn't understand. I thought that's how people always would give you names if you don't give them money and things like that. And the truth was that I did not have money. I didn't have money by the time. So when they asked me money, and o tshwana le papa ga go ka botinchi, and I was like, it's fine even if you can call me stingy, but I know I don't have money and all these things. But what happened to me is that I had embodied my father's story, a money story. And my father is a very rich man, but the words that the communication, the vocabulary, if I could put it that way, that he used in order for him to say, not today, was actually wrong for me. And, sometimes somebody can say, you look so beautiful, and you feel like, they are teasing me, right? Somebody can say something when you can receive it differently, which that was basically what my father was doing for me. He said something and I took it differently. And now I understand, now that I'm older, but at a young age, this is what I had embodied, that money is not there. Money is never there. You cannot get money, forget about money. Money is never there, and all. So when I started working, guess what I did? And many of us are doing that today. Kitty, to the 2nd of November, and many people got paid on the 29th, I believe. Some people got paid on the 15th. Some people got paid on the 25th. And within all the people that I have mentioned there are people who do not have money, whether they got paid on the 29th, whether they got paid on the 25th, whether they got paid on the 15th, but they don't have money, because we grew up in that. It's a situation that was conditioned to us, that you go to work, you just pay your bills, and then you struggle through this life. So that was my reality when I started working. And that was not because people are earning less money, or I was earning less money. It was because of my vibration when it comes to the issues of money. So my vibration towards money was lack. So I lacked money. So that was the vibration. So whenever I got money, I wanted it out. So many of you can really, I know it's a subject that is very tough. No one would say, oh my goodness, I'm like that. Very few people can come out and say, this is my life, right? But I know that money comes into your account. We used to say this with my colleague back in the days, that like my account is a bridge where money just flows to other people. Money comes into your account, debit orders and all these things, right? And when I started then healing myself, I started understanding that you can buy things cash. I understood that money is a vibration, and I understood where I took that from. So my father had used words that were not really empowering to me, and I took them. I embodied the words and I became those words. That is why, I mean, when I was 24, I was already in 100 and something debts. When I was 23, 24, I think I was already in debts, loans. I was buying food on credit. I was going to Woolworths, and I was in debts. But what was happening is a lot of um, the debts that I had, I would pay them. So money will come, and I would pay everyone, and I would not have money for transport. I was traveling to um, from Pretoria to Rivonia. So there were times that I had to walk to Marabastad. Can you believe it? Guys, like, what? I had to walk to Marabastad so that I can get a connecting taxi. Usually when I had money, I'll take a taxi from Sunnyside, and then to Marabastad, and then Marabastad, then to Rivonia. But by the time when I didn't have money, giddy 2 or giddy 5, when I don't have money, I had to walk to Marabastad and get a taxi from there. Can you believe it? Right? So many people are living that truth. It's that truth, where you don't have money. You are working, but you don't have money. And it's not because, even if they can give you 100,000, still you are going to accumulate debts that are within that, that are within that money, the bracket, right? So when I started healing, I knew that that was not coming only from me, but I had learned about money from my dad, and I had embodied it, and that is why I was in a lot of debts by the time. I paid off my debts. I did a video on my group. I paid off my debts within, I don't know, I think it was, when you put up an intention, and when you start healing, things would come easily for you. And I think, I don't remember, but it maybe took me a year. I just didn't put much attention to it. And I paid off my debts, and today everything that I own, I buy it cash contant. Everything that I have, earring to the biggest thing that I own, I buy cash. And many people are like, how do you buy a car cash? How do you buy this cash? The same energy that you use to buy a car for that you pay monthly for 4,000, that same energy can buy a car cash. That is the same energy. Money is energy, right? But you need to get into a point where you heal yourself, because when you heal yourself, you're going to heal the 99% of who you are, which is your spirit. And your spirit is the spirit of the creator. So you are now, when you are healing your spirit, you are able to create the life that you want, because inside of you there's a creator, right? And now I went on and on and on. Now I am fine. I'm manifesting things. I'm manifesting cars. I'm manifesting all these things. And I suddenly have a desire that I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to know how it feels to be a millionaire. Suddenly my spirit is guiding me towards that. And I know that I have a business, and when I'm doing my books, it's not like it's a million. My seller does not say it's all the things that I have does not say that I can get to this million. So I again am back on a new journey, and this journey is a journey of me now healing my mother wounds. Now, I had a problem with my mom, and I put that status today that many relationships end, even marriages, end because of an introduction of another person, which is a child, not the side chick and all that. Many marriages, even relationships, have ended when a child was born. And why is that? Because when a child is born, suddenly our wounds and our traumas resurface, asking us to heal so that we do not transfer the same energies to our children, right? So that is the reason why this whole thing then happens. Okay, so this happened actually even after the birth of my son, that I wanted to become a millionaire. That was back in 2019. And I then started working on myself, more on my mind, and understanding even way like bigger issues than I understood with my father. And one day I got a revelation, spirit, for people who understand how spirit communicates, not only in the church, spirit can communicate with you anyway, right? So I got a revelation or a message that I needed to heal my mother wounds. And I was even given a number. This is how much you're going to get. This is the money that is waiting for you. And when I look at this money, is exactly the money that I have been saying I wanted to have, the millions that I said I wanted to have. And it was not actually a condition, but it was God asking me to lift down the burden. There's a Bible verse that says, lift down, take down your burdens unto the Lord, right? So I did not know that I had a mother wound until I worked on this part of me. Now, myself and my mom, my dad passed away in 2017. My mom, like, we are best buddies. Like, even yesterday when I called her, I was laughing. Like, we are best buddies. Now, I did not know that I had a problem with my mom. And I know many people, there are people out there who knows that I do have a problem with my mom, but there are other people who don't know that they actually have, or even their father, right? I know most of my clients would come to me and say, yo, I have a problem with my mom. When you find out that actually they have a problem with their father, right? They have father wounds. Now, my problem with my mom came at a point after I gave birth to my son. And I spoke about that story, that I did not know what was going on, but I wanted my mom to leave somehow. I don't know, because she was here for maternity leave. And I suddenly started having negative emotions like rage or something came out of me, and I couldn't even understand what was going on with me until I did my healing. And when I did my healing, I understood that I subconsciously, right, unconsciously blamed my mom for the sexual abuse that I had. That I was, oh, sorry about that. Somebody's calling me. And I was unconsciously blaming her that I used to show you sign and you didn't. So that then erupted the time I gave birth. Now my new title was no longer about a wife, but I was a mother. So my introduction um, to motherhood also took out some things in me that I needed to address. Okay, so I then figured out how, but I don't have a problem with my mom. I'm fine. I don't blame her. But unconsciously, as a kid, I always talk about inner child healing. As a kid, there's a trapped kid inside of anybody, right? Who can be wounded and who can be healed. It's not like every time they are wounded, right? They can be healed. And that trapped kid, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, because I was sexually abused up until the ages of 11. So that part of me blamed my mom, and I was not even aware of. So I had to heal myself. As I healed myself, my money came in numbers. Like, guys, I would sit here and I would get money. I'll sleep and then I'll get money. And when I woke up from this horrible dream that I had about me unconsciously having problems with my mother and all that, when I healed that part of me, guess what happened? I saw my millions coming just like that. And why is it that your mother, especially your mother, that your mom will, if you have problems with your mom, oh guys, if whether you are a woman or you are a man, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you have problems with your mother, you are going to have problems with money, because money and mother, M-O-M-O, right? And money is a natural. Your mother is a natural. I mean, for me to become this woman that I am today, it's because my mom was there for me, right? And we all know with many families where fathers were not there, the house or the home was, people were still eating, but the father was not there, because a woman is a natural. A woman is a builder, right? Um, and when you look at a woman and you look at money, it's almost the same characteristics. I actually learned during the weekend with the class that we were attending that when I, as a wife, you have to stand in the gap. That is why Joanna, the item area, mosadi o tshwara thipa ka mo bogaleng. I know, like, it comes as go na le bo equality, inequality, and all these things. But when the Bible even says it, that a wise woman will build her house, her home, right? But the not so wise one, she will destroy it, because God did not give a woman physical strength, and I think that's what I'm actually narrating in my first book. Did not give the woman the physical strength, but gave them that strength. Hey, girl, even when things are going, yes, Matema, even when things are going like this direction, a woman will stand firm. Will stand. Every time when I have these conversations with my mom, when she got married and what happened to her and all these things, you find out that women are very strong, and emotionally, spiritually. When I intercede for my husband, when I am sitting here and I say, today my husband is going to close up a deal of some sort, right? But even when we bought our recent car, my husband went to take the car and he said, this is the car. I don't know what is going to happen. Are they going to buy it before I get there and all this? And I'm like, boy, it's yours. And I got into my secret space and I started firing, prayers, right? So that is the role of a woman. And so when you have mother problems, mother wounds, you're not going to have money. You can try, right? The father wound from me was more in the mind, the things, the programming, which you can heal the mind by affirmations and those type of things. But the spiritual aspect of money comes from a woman, right? So I had to heal my mother's wounds, which she didn't know. Even me, I didn't know. But when I healed them, then uh, we are blessed to have you. Thank you, Jesse. Which I didn't know that I had. And when I did, money comes to me easily. Money comes to me easily. And, and the other things that we're going to be talking about on Saturday. So if you are here and you know that you have problems, any type of problems in your life, stagnancy, you don't know, things are just not moving for you. You are looking for marriage, but you are getting people who just want to sleep with you and leave you. At work, I mean, there was a time I was working with these two guys. We were hired as interns. They elevated within their careers, and Malibu was just there, getting demoted. The ship was sinking until I healed myself. And today I cannot say that um, I have money problems. I can't say that I have relationship problems. I do have, my husband and I, we do have arguments, we do have, and even me, there are challenges in my life. I mean, I was telling a friend of mine um, during the week that, over the weekend that, hey, I'm seeing flames, but he didn't even know what the type of flames that I was having. We do have challenges, but I mean, problems that occur, like it's a pattern. You date Tsepo does that, and all these things. Those are things that we have been taught to believe about love, marriage. And that is why many men you would see many men or many people believing that men cheat, because that has been a programming, it's a belief, and we can easily heal that if we are ready. Now, I don't want you guys to delay your healing thinking that I don't have money and all that. When you put up an intention that I want to do this, money will be available for you, right? So on Saturdays, the 6th of this month, we are doing a healing workshop, mother and father wounds. Because I heal myself, I'm able to help other people heal themselves. So if you are here on YouTube, on Facebook, and you know that you have problems that you need to heal within you, we are going to have a safe space on Saturday to heal these things. You are supposed to get everything that you want in life. You're not supposed to struggle for anything. I'm not talking about delaying, I'm saying struggle. You are not supposed to be struggling for anything. You are supposed to say, I want this, and this happens to you. It happens for you. You are supposed to just order. You get into a restaurant and you order the life that you want. Now, I've taught people about manifestation. I've taught people about a whole lot of how you can say affirmations. I love myself and all these things. But affirmations, manifestations, um, can only happen when within you are healed. So the Bible, I think it is in the book of Romans, right, where it talks about the Spirit of God that rose Jesus from the dead lives inside of you. Now, I want you to understand that 99% of you is a spirit. And if that spirit is wounded, it's going to recreate a mess. So God is the creator of all things. We don't have to go and create beaches, and I mean ocean. We don't have to go and recreate those things. We go to Devon. Somebody here joined and said they are from Devon. We don't have to go to Devon and recreate an ocean and call it South Beach, what, Camps Bay. We don't have to. Those things we got here and they were already created. Now, when God then decided to create us, he created us after he created a lot of major things. And he instructed us that go subdue the world, have authority over over every animal in the sea and all that. Gave us power. And when he was breathing, he breathed his spirit of life through the nostrils, right? I'm talking about it from a perspective of Christianity. Now that breath of life is asking you as a person, is the Spirit of God inside of you. It's able to create. Now, if you are wounded, that spirit can create a mess. That is why you see sometimes people who die and they were not, I don't know, like, they become ghosts. It's a spirit. It's as a spirit, just like we're saying God is a spirit and all that. It's a spirit, but because it's wounded, what is it creating? A mess. It's torturing people, creating accidents because it's a spirit that is wounded, right? And it's the same as you. When you are wounded, you are able to manifest a relationship that you were not supposed to be part of, a job that you were not supposed to be part of. And you come later on and you cry and say, oh my goodness, this man did one, two, three. Everything that is happening in your outside world is whatever that is happening in your inside world. So if you think that that man cheated on you, it's it's the spirit of God. That's how like it is. But that spirit, if it's wounded, then you are going to create a mess. The plans of God are not meant to harm us, but to make us prosperous. So I've been a Christian, and even today I'm still, where I had prayed about a lot of things that did not happen. And I asked myself, God, why are you not giving me this? Only to find out that I was creating from a place of mess. Now, when you are creating from a place of mess, you can say, I want a husband, and you go, you take another person's husband. Right? But when you are creating from light and love, you know that you don't have to take anybody from anyone. People will leave their relationship first, and not because of you. They will leave their relationship first and come to you. You don't have to go and wreck a marriage and do all these things and tell people that whether you can be a woman on top or on front or whatever. When you are creating from love. But when you are wounded, your spirit becomes wounded as well, and you create a mess in your life. So on Saturday, we are having this healing session, and I would love for you to come to the healing session. I don't know if my assistant is there to put up my number. Today we had drama of my assistant's number being um, transferred to another person in Durban, and we thank God that the whole thing was easy. We had to call him and ask him to um, switch off his phone and things like that. My assistant was doing that. I was not even interested in fighting for a number. So for now, we will use my number. It's 0711472389. Do book for Saturday. It's 375. If you know that these are parts of you that are wounded, and we will heal that on the 6th of November. It's at 12 p.m. South African Standard Time. So I will see you guys on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be live from tomorrow. I'm preparing for this. I take this, as like the thing when I heal people. God did not just give me the gift of healing so that I can play around and say, "Ha, where are you coming from? Who are you? And come, let me lay hands on you." I really have to ground myself because I know that the healing that happens, it happens because God wanted it to happen. So I'm going to be preparing myself. If you do want to be part of us, do communicate with me. Otherwise, thank you for being here. I love you. Have a wonderful day.